Hello there, YouTube. Today I will be talking about my favorite big hatted fellow, the Wanderer, aka Scaramouche. Now, he is our new Animo DPS boy, and I feel like he has a people have very mixed opinions on him, and I would like to clear up some misconceptions about him, and I would like to give you my genuine opinion on him. Now, some background: I am free to play. Uh, 100% free to play. Not a single dime spent on this game. I have gotten one free Welkin Moon. But other than that, not a single dime spent on this game. I have a few accounts, and this is my main account. I am running Lost Prayer. I have 4P Shimanawa on him. My talents are like this, and I have Constellation 0, obviously. And this is coming from a full free-to-play perspective, and also from somebody who has like Ito and Shao on other accounts, and has almost every 5-star character played, except for like Klee. I don't have Klee on any accounts. But yeah, let's start it off. So, uh, let me get his full meta, I guess his place in the meta out of the way. So if I were to place units like Icon right in an S tier, I would place him in B tier, like BAS, like CBAS. That's how the tiers go. And for another reference point, I would place Child on A tier. And this is for a few reasons. And I feel like a lot of them are very solvable with future units and also with, I guess, future artifacts and future weapons and future quality of life changes, hopefully. And the biggest one surrounds on Farazan. By the way, I'm assuming you guys already know what Scaramouche is, how to play him, and how he works and stuff. But yeah, I have a lot of gripes about Farazan. And let me real quick knock down the lettuce here real quick. And a lot of these issues are super solvable, and I really wish they had done something about it. So if you can see here, I use my E, and I shoot him every once. I get one set of animal particles. Shoot it again because I have C3. I have C1, so it gives me none. And even if I use it right now, it doesn't give me any animal. It gave me some there, but usually it wouldn't. Like if I did it right here, it doesn't give me any. You can generate animal particles on her once every about 6 seconds. This is very stupid. At least if they had done this, I wish they had changed this constellation to do something good. You know, maybe make her C6 or C1 to make it kind of viable, or give her a proper energy generation method. Because if Favonia's bow did not exist, she would be the most dogshit character in the entire game. The fact that you don't get any energy off of this character is just super sad, because unlike Sara, you can't just place her E, and if you have a few constellations, just let that happen. With her, you have to properly do shit, which in my opinion is very, very stupid, because you have to press her E, and with her first passive, I swear to god if I die, you have to charge it up for that long, and only her first attack actually gives you 2 animal particles too. Very, very stupid. On top of that, her buff is not with her E, but actually with, by the way, what is up with this? Like a full ass thesis. It's actually with her burst. Very, very stupid. And a few misconceptions about Farzan. C1, not good. C2, only good for Shao. C3, not good. C4, good. C5, good. C6, good. This means everything after C4, C5, and C6 are good. I wish they had made these three constellations. Because just give me some good early constellations, man. I don't want to get C6. Now, another big issue with Scaramouche is that he does not have a proper Animo sub DPS that can like generate particles, like for example Ito has with Albedo. So in my Ito teams, uh, it's so much easier to generate particles. First of all, because Goro's E instant, that's his buff as well, and it generates a lot of particles, especially if you have Favonia's bow. And also, Zhongli's E, he's not Bennett reliant as well, which is massive. Zhongli's E gives you about 1 geoparticle, like 1 to 2, and also gives you some Favonius particles. And Albedo gives you a lot of off-field particles as well. And he's a burst reliant character. He's like a burst DPS, but his team's energy problems are so much less than Scaramouche's energy problems, despite Scaramouche's not needing to funnel energy to himself. So if we got a good animal sub DPS, I'll be like over the moon because then he'll become less bad. Not that he's bad, like he'll be more usable. Now, one upside about him is that his weapons are all very easy. So Woodsith, phenomenal weapon on him. It's also easy to get refinements on him. Map Mare actually really good because you can easily swirl, and this means you can, with multiple refinements, you can actually get a decent elemental damage bonus. I don't see this getting talked about that much, but in my opinion, it's actually valid. Uh, I guess I have perception's decent if you don't have anything else. Blackcliff is also decent if you don't have anything else, and if you're using him as a animal buffer, I guess you can use Stilling Tails because he is Catalyst, and also he's very easy to swirl with. So I guess that's a plus. I guess Thrilling Tales could be usable. All the 5 stars except for the support ones are very usable, and Lost Prayer, Kagura's Verity, and his signature are usually the best ones because of their crit substats. So that's a very positive about him. Another positive about him is that that Chiminawa set is not that much worse than his actual set, which is this one, because of how it works. Because Shiminawa's gives you 50%, this gives you 40%. Shiminawa's gives you attack bonus, this gives you anima bonus. It's not that much. The only thing this has that Shiminawa's doesn't have is the attack speed bonus. So yeah, Shiminawa's overall very good set. It's only about 5% worse than this set. Not worth farming this set, especially if you don't have like Nahida. Not worth farming that dungeon at all. So you can just stick to Shiminawa's and grind for your emblem characters as well, which is also very good. And also Emblem can be used on Farazan because you need as much energy recharge as possible on her. Like you need to run 2-piece Emblem on her, or you can run 4-piece Noblesse. I guess I would not recommend it just because of how much energy she needs. Like I put very energy full artifacts on her, as you can see right here. Yet my energy is 265, which is not the best, sure, but it's not even. It doesn't even let me get my burst up every rotation with ease. It's kind of very stupid. And unlike say Yoimiya, who already has characters built for her, like in Xingqiu, he did not have any characters really built for him. I unlike also Albedo was for Ita. Now enough of me whining about him. I do recommend going for him. All this being said, now this is obviously just because of how fun I find him. And if you don't think you'll find him fun, which I actually did not think I'd find him fun, if you don't think you'll find him fun, don't go for him. But honestly, I didn't think I'd find him fun, and he's like been the most fun character I've played in a while. He's like up there with the other Harbinger. I actually like playing Child. I know, a very big revelation, but yeah, very fun character, and honestly very convenient for the overworld because of how good he is to use because of his E ability. Like being able to just glide around the overworld super fast like that is very nice. And also you can just slap on 2-piece so Shimano does not suck that like I just did. Now the team I've had the most success on him is this team right here, Farazan, Wanderer, Venti, and Bennett. And this is just because of how much Bennett benefits Farazan. He benefits Farazan. I mean, benefits Wanderer because of how low Wanderer's attack is usually. Because even with like Lost Prayer, which has a very high base attack, and with a lot of attack percent on my pieces like this one has 17%, and obviously attack percent on here. Even with all of that, he only has like 2k, but considering that, Bennett buffs him a lot because of how his attack buff works. So say a character like Hu Tao with her E, she gains about 4k attack. Bennett buffs Putao giving her say 1k attack, that's only like a 1/5 buff. Like it's not actually a 1/5 buff, but like say it is a 1/5 buff, like 1/5 more damage, 20% more damage. Meanwhile, for Wanderer, it'd be about 33% more damage for him. And then on top of that, Bennett can also give him the 20% more attack with this passive, 30% more attack with this passive. Very, very good. And talking about his passive, first passive very good because of how much it increases his damage, especially if you get the pyro buff. Cryo buff is overrated because of how easy it is to stack crit on him. My artifacts have like no crit, to be fair. But yeah, attack buff is what I'd go for, especially because of how easy it is to go for. You just put Bennett in the party, wait for the pyro infusion on the character to take place like Sunfire does, and you get the easy attack buff. Second passive, very decent. Yeah, but what I'd say is to not focus on this passive. Do not focus on dashing on this passive because you lose about one charge shot, and the charge shot is about 211% damage, while this gives you about 130% damage, 140% damage. So, yeah, in my opinion, you should not focus on this because you lose about 80% damage percent from this with a level 8, 70%. But yeah, so you lose about 70% damage multiplier if you do focus on this. Another thing I'd like to point out is that his interruption resistance, while it is pretty annoying, especially with the second passive, it's not actually that bad. Like to be fair, I've played him with Venti a lot, and that's what I run with him in Abyss. But I completed this Abyss with Yunjin and the party for the Golden Wolf Lord, and I did not have a problem. So yeah, even with the Rock Wolves, it's just not a problem in my opinion. Especially if we just it's a skill issue, you know. If you're bad at the game, then that's an L, I guess. Now, yeah, I guess that's actually it. Yeah, I talked about everything. Actually, because constellations, C1 is decent. C2 is actually underrated. It's pretty good in my opinion. Gives you like 2 times more burst damage, and its burst itself is very, very solid. Even with Shimanawas, because even with Shimanawas, you can use it about once every 2 rotations. Very, very solid burst. C3 is just more damage. C4, I don't actually, uh, I don't actually know because I don't know how hard it is to get 3 elements to be swirled, but I don't know. C5 good, C6 good. So overall, good constellations. Not as good as somebody like Eula's, which basically just triples her damage, but still very, very solid constellations. Weapons easy, artifacts easy, constellations not that important. Talents easy, just normal E and then burst. I guess normal burst and E if you don't have Shimenawa. And yeah, that's it. I'm sorry for this convoluted guide. I just wanted to get this out as soon as possible, and I just got my new GPU and my new mic upgraded for the first time in forever. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Please subscribe.